You know, I was going to write a little rough script for this, like I do with all my other videos, but if this doesn't come from the heart, then quite frankly, where else is it going to come from? This has been brewing up for a very, very long time. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of What the Hell is Going On. Today we'll be focusing on my idea and my opinion basically on remastered versions of games from the past and maybe not so long ago as well, because hey, if the internet doesn't exist for opinions, then I don't know what else it is. And you know, hate me all you want for this, but hopefully some of you might agree with me on this kind of thing. Fingers crossed anyway. There was a time about 10, maybe even 20 years ago that remastered versions of games just didn't come by as often as they did nowadays. They seem to be, especially with this generation, they seem to be literally littering the game shelves, and everything just seems to get remastered. Some decisions are good, other decisions are quite like, why the hell would you even remaster that? And yeah, 10, 20 years ago that just wasn't a thing, or it wasn't as prominent as it is today, and that really bothers me from a consumer point of view. I think one of the first, maybe the first game to properly do it was the Super Mario All-Star Pack for the SNES. This remastered the first three Mario games that were on the NES and gave them new music, gave them new graphics, and people went crazy over this shit. People loved it, and it worked back then, and now companies are using nostalgia to kind of, you know, trick people into buying remastered versions of games. And some, like the Uncharted collection, were really good. And others I can think of, definitely Wind Waker HD. That was not just a remaster, but it was like a remake or a reimagining, if you will. So much to the point where it didn't even, you know, act like its own, like the previous game anymore. It changed a lot of things in the core concept, and like the game mechanics as well was changed, and that's what a true HD remaster is about now. But companies today, they just seem to be willing to do the bare minimum to get the quick cash. And that's basically what HD remasters are now. They're an easy way to make a quick buck. And I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable about this at all. Now, what I mean by doing the bare minimum is basically just enhancing the graphics to a current generation console. Take, for example, the games that maybe bring this to light actually was the rumours of a Skyrim remaster, as well as the new Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare remastered as well. Two games which are great in their own right, especially Skyrim. I absolutely love that game to pieces. I've played it for hours and hours on end. But it disappointed me, the fact that if this is even an idea, if this rumour is true, then it is definitely disappointing for me. I will still buy it. I'll still buy it regardless, of course, but it may be in the back burner of my wallet. It may be, let's see if it goes down in price. But that's beside the point. I was expecting if Bethesda were to announce anything, it would be like, you know, in the Elder Scrolls series, it would be maybe rumors of, or you know, a trailer even of like a new Elder Scrolls game, like the Elder Scrolls 6. Instead of maybe living in the past and, you know, upping the graphics of this game. And that's exactly what they'll do. They won't add anything new to this game, and neither does any other publisher. And going on Call of Duty Modern Warfare, does that game really need to be remastered? A game which is released every year pretty much, that has the same mechanics, the same concept, the same, you know, the shooty bang bang, and all, the online system is, you know, ever growing and stuff like that. Does a game that is not willing to change every year really need a HD remaster? I can go out and buy the new Modern Warfare. Yeah, it's called Black Ops 3. It's called, you know, Ghosts, because people have been playing Modern Warfare for years, regardless of the story. They have been, and that's, you may not like it, but it's a fact. It seems that like nowadays, or you know, for the past 5 years at least, all we seem to care about within our games is graphics and the frame rate and everything like that, when actually it's the last thing you really should be thinking about. Granted, you know, a good frame rate is always good and good graphics always nice, but it doesn't make a game. What makes a game is the gameplay, how well it controls, if it's got a good story, if it's gripping, if it, you know, pulls you in, if it entices you, and not how pretty it looks, because beauty is only skin deep, and this is exactly what these remasters are doing, especially the sloppy ones as well. But on the good side of things, a good remaster just doesn't give it a facelift, but it changes the game completely. It adds new things to the table, remove things that didn't work the last time. Going back to Wind Waker HD, they not only made the graphics prettier, which by the way didn't even need improving in the first place. If you play the original GameCube version of that game, it still stands out today and it's timeless. The graphics are timeless because of their cel shaded art. But Nintendo went above and beyond the standards of what defines a remaster. They didn't just make the game look prettier like everybody else did. They added new mechanics to the game. They took out some certain things that fans were complaining about, like the Triforce quests that were just so tedious to do. And they made moving around the map a lot faster by adding a new item. And all these little, you know, things that bogged down the game, they took out and they made it a lot better. And that's what a remaster should be, not just a facelift or a pretty facelift for a game that came out a couple of years ago, or maybe even 10 years ago, or anything like that. Using The Last of Us as an example, I fucking love that game. It is like one of my favourite games of all time, if not my favourite game of all time. And I understand the need to bring it to the new console generation. I get that, but did it really need a facelift? Did The Last of Us really need a definitive collection when it only came out 2013 and the definitive version came out 2014, I think? Are you kidding? People are still playing that game on the PS3, and it pushed that hardware's, you know, graphics to the limit. It pushed everything to the limit, and when it's now played on PS4, it doesn't really look all that different. I mean, yes, they added in DLC and stuff like that, great, you know, but that's not what a remaster is all about. You're not getting more for your money. As far as content, you should really know the difference between the original and the remaster. And I get that sometimes people are afraid to change their games to you know, in despite of the fans, you know, what if the fans react badly and stuff like that. But sometimes if it's for the benefit of the game and you're trying to make changes that are good for the game, then maybe it's a risk you're willing to take. And not a lot of people are doing that these days, and it just really annoys me. And I felt like with the recent announcement of Skyrim Remaster, or at least the rumour of Skyrim Remaster, and, you know, Call of Duty, and maybe even Red Dead Redemption Remaster, I don't want to see games getting remastered anymore. I would buy them and everything like that, but what I want is I want to see new games come out, games that will trump the old games that are remastering now. I want to see more creativity in the industry. The industry's it's just becoming remaster after remaster, or living off the past, or living off of nostalgia, and people buying that nostalgia to remember the good old days. And it's wearing thin. It was fun at first, but it's just wearing really, really thin on me, and I don't know how much more I can take of it, really. I guess that's all I really have to say on the matter, really. It's not that I don't hate all remastered versions of games or all HD collections or whatever. It's just that I feel that there is creativity being used up on these HD remasters where it could be put to better use somewhere else, making the next Skyrim, making the next Fallout, making the next whatever your remaster is going on. It could be used to make that the next game in that series better and stronger, and definitely better than the last game, and maybe one day that game could be remastered, who knows. At the end of the day, guys, it's just how I feel on the matter, and if you have anything to say for or against the argument, then great, fantastic, put it in the comments. I'll get back to you on it. I do like a good debate on games, believe you me. And if you do like this one-on-one chat kind of feel that I've got going on here, then you let me know. I might keep it like this, who knows. It's just testing the waters for, you know, the future videos in this kind of format. But As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for whatever review or whatever thing I talk about next. Take care. Bye for now.